Welcome to Wrestling Games Exhumed. My name is Matt Denton, and as a wrestling fan and gamer, I'm going to marry two of my favorite things together, wrestling and video gaming, by going around digging up games of wrestling's past and throwing them back into the ring for another fight. Good, bad, downright ugly, I'm gonna play them. On this episode, WWF Smackdown. At the height of the Monday Night Wars, the video game wars were going on too. In the corner of WCW, they had THQ. In the corner of the WWF was Acclaim Entertainment. In 1999, the WWF turned their back on the long-time relationship with Acclaim to join forces with THQ, ending an 11-year partnership. In early 2000, the World Wrestling Federation and THQ began their long-running Smackdown franchise on the PlayStation 1. Gameplay is very simplistic, especially coming out of the Acclaim combo system that had reigned supreme for WWF games for years. Grapples are executed using the circle button coupled with a direction. The circle button on its own is for Irish whips, X is for striking attacks, square is for blocking and counters, and triangle is for running. The action is often fast and furious, even if the AI can be prone to having a brain fart and just standing there. For example, I had a match against Kane in pre-season mode, where he would just repeatedly spam his taunts, allowing me just to whip him around like a dollar store jobber. One of the issues I found is that there's a lack of proper selling in the game. I could beat my opponent up from pillar to post and they'll get up rather quickly. This is annoying, especially if you like to take to the top rope. I've yet to hit a decent 450 splash on my opponent before they get up. There's a number of match types to play in, including the debut of an I Quit match, based on the famous I Quit match between The Rock and Mankind from the 1999 Royal Rumble. You can battle through an interconnected arena, starting off from the ring and then roaming anywhere from the kitchen, to the boiler room, to a car park. This would also be the debut for that feature. Up until this game, the only game to feature backstage areas was WCW Mayhem, which featured a random backstage environment in each match rather than an interconnected series of areas. You also have the regular multi-man matches, cage matches, and the Royal Rumble. The cage match can be really frustrating because of the sheer lack of proper selling in the game. The Royal Rumble can be annoying too because it's so simple to eliminate your opponents and be eliminated in turn. I have found that the multi-man matches are also very easily manipulated with submission-based wrestlers. If you beat down your opponent outside of the ring and then put him in a submission hold inside the ring, you can easily win the match because the submission system is ridiculously simple and overpowered. You put your opponent in a submission, and if they're beaten down enough, the match is pretty much declared over. Since this is the first game in the series and had less than a year's development time, the game has a really basic creation mode. Not only that, there are only 4 creator wrestler slots, which sucks because of the fact that you can unlock parts to create Steven Richards, Midian, Viscera, Ivory, Jacqueline, and Pat Patterson. Appearance-wise, there is no actual customization because you have pre-created heads, torsos, and legs. This really sucks because other games around this time, such as the Acclaim series, have much deeper creation modes. Move-wise, you have to earn the moves that you use. You have to put points into stats that unlock more powerful moves, so your rookie most likely won't be able to bust out a stone cold stunner from the outset. Stat points are earned in pre-season, giving you a way to realistically earn moves. Career mode comes in 2 flavors. The first is a pre-season where you can take your created superstars through the trials and tribulations of earning their spot on the roster and forging long-lasting relationships with various WWF superstars on the road to the main stage. This lasts about a year, and any traits you pick up here are set in stone for the rest of your in-game career. So if you piss Chyna off once, she'll be mad forever. Realistic, no? While building yourself up, you also earn experience points, which can unlock bigger and better moves for your superstar, which is a nice bonus. The main mode is just seemingly never-ending, where you get to wrestle multiple calendar years as a WWF superstar, making your name and moving up the ranks to challenge for championships, and generally watch things unfold as you progress. Being the olden days of PlayStation, this game features no voice acting and relies on set cutscenes to add some variety to proceedings. Generally though, you're better off making stories up yourself than relying on cutscenes, which can be infrequent and very repetitive when you've been playing for a long time. Despite its obvious flaws due to the fact that the game had a relatively short development cycle, Smackdown is actually quite enjoyable. I wasn't a huge fan of the Acclaim games, nor their control system, so this was a breath of fresh air. And the fact that there was a free roam backstage set was just icing on the cake. Thankfully, it wouldn't be long before THQ and Yukes improved on the base and released the sequel. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more, just hit like and subscribe. If there's a wrestling game you want to see me dig up and dust off, drop it in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter at WordsFromPrism, and you can find much more of my stuff at ViciousPrism.com. So take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.